In terms of this current situation and the messaging behind it, how do you read it?
I think we need to be very cautious in interpreting whatever's said in public during highly secretive and delicate negotiations. So the messaging is almost immaterial. We should step back and look at the interests that are at
Mm.
play. And I think the analysis we just heard is more or less correct. Both sides have an interest in climbing off this ledge, and they're going to posture in public. And Trump is going to make threats, and the Iranians are going to pretend that they are indifferent to their economy being hammered to the tune of $500 million a day. And remember, this is an economy that, in its entirety, is $300 billion in nominal terms. No small thing. And I suspect that will eventually somehow coalesce around an agreement to enter talks, more or less aligned with the 14-point document that's been reported. And then the question is, if indeed talks begin, can they end without a deal, or could they conceivably lead to resumption of the war in mid-June? It seems unlikely. There is a real question about whether Iran might miscalculate because they're currently very brazen. They're obviously quite pleased with the fact that the world is reacting badly to the disruption caused by the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz,
Mm.
and they think they can outlast the West, and that may be false. This is why we see Rubio doing a tour of Europe. I think he's trying to make sure that if um, the blockade has to continue for many months. And even if potentially, in an unlikely scenario, the war resumes, this time the Europeans will be on side.
And Dan, would you say that the United States has achieved its goals here? And do you think that this blockade, no matter how long it lasts, is going to be enough to bring the Iranians to the table and force serious concessions out of Tehran when it comes to their nuclear program?
Yeah, and I would hope not just the nuclear program. I would hope also the key thing, which is the proxy militias that Iran has planted all around the region. It's a bit dispiriting to see that does not appear explicitly in the 14 points, although it's referenced obliquely and hinting.
Mm.
I think the West should demand much more of Iran than just not to make nuclear weapons. And indeed, in an ideal scenario, we need to step back even further and remember that the reason it started is because the Iranians massacred tens of thousands of protesters in January, and Trump said that help is on its way.
Mm.
And a deal that merely for nuclear concessions uh, gives Iran tens of billions of dollars and assets unfrozen and sanctions canceled, by some estimates, more than $100 billion. That would give the regime new life, a whole new runway. It would be devastating to the opposition. It would be a betrayal of the Iranian people. But of course, it does look like things are headed in that direction. Honestly, fascinatingly, uh, the question on the table right now is, given that Trump is obviously looking for an exit ramp
Mm.
because of his political calculations at home, and the fact that despite the spectacular tactical victories in the first week, the war has not gone according to plan. Given this, can the Iranians take yes for an answer, or will they push Trump too far, push the West too far, push the U.S. too far? And from what I'm seeing, from the hubris projected by the IRGC that currently realistically rules Iran, they just might.